The mamas, bonus moms, office moms, moms of moms. This Mother's Day, give back to the ones that have given us so much. 1-800-Flowers helps you celebrate all your amazing moms with handmade bouquets, sweet treats, gourmet food, and one-of-a-kind gifts. Ordered easily and delivered fresh. For a limited time, you can save up to 40% off Mother's Day bestsellers at 1-800-Flowers.com/ACAST. Don't wait. Order today and save up to 40% at 1-800-Flowers.com/ACAST.
On today's Smart 7, Labour rocks the Tory boat, Biden pours his arms to Israel, and much more. It's Thursday 9th of May, it's Europe Day, and happy birthday, Billy Joel.
The Smart 7. It's news, but not the news.
It's been a rough few weeks for Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, but he got another shock on Wednesday as a second Tory MP defected to the Labour Party right before Prime Minister's question time. Even more shocking than the defection was who had defected. Natalie Elphicke was the MP for Dover and seen as a far-right Tory, and is definitely not someone that either party would have expected to switch sides. Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer welcomed her to the opposition benches.
I'm delighted to welcome Natalie Elphicke to the Labour Party. And the reason that she's given for joining the Labour Party is very, very important because the Tory party has changed. It's left the centre ground.
She's a controversial figure whose husband was sentenced to 2 years in jail for sexual assault, and there's been a very mixed response from within Labour ranks. However, she was scathing about Prime Minister Rishi Sunak as she departed, blaming him for a failure to address migration.
He's not stopping the boats and he's letting the country down. Well, meanwhile, under Labour, they are clear that it is important to have defence and they want to make sure that they have good national security. So I think we should have confidence that Labour are the party who will tackle this issue of the small boats.
US President Joe Biden has paused delivery of bombs to Israel after repeated warnings to Prime Minister Netanyahu not to go ahead with a military operation in Rafah. It appears Biden is losing patience with Israel, who began what they call targeted actions in Rafah this week, including taking control of the border crossing. That has delayed aid, with the UN reporting trucks queuing up at the crossing, while there are warnings that fuel is running low in Gaza as supplies dry up. Labour's Jonathan Ashworth thinks that it's time for UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak to follow suit and publish legal guidance on arms sales.
When we look at what is happening in Rafah, that is catastrophic. When it comes to the issues of arms embargoes, we're still demanding that Rishi Sunak provides the legal justification, because if there are breaches of international law, then of course there should be action.
Israel has shown no sign of backing down on the planned assault on Rafah, and former deputy commander of the IDF, Amir Avivi, spoke to LBC and says there's no choice in the matter as far as the military are concerned.
Israel is not going to lose the war. This is an existential war. It's either Hamas or us. And not going into Rafah means Hamas stays in power, means they can build themselves endlessly.
Ofcom, the UK's media regulator, published new draft guidelines for tech firms on Wednesday, which are intended to provide better protection for children online. The guidelines follow on from the new online safety bill, and Ofcom CEO Melanie Dawes warned that companies who fail to follow the proposed guidelines would be named and shamed and could face a ban altogether. There are 40 elements to the new guidelines, and the primary focus is on rigorous age checks and adjustments to the content algorithms that serve inappropriate material to children's feeds. There's now a consultation period on the new guidelines, but they may not be implemented until late in 2025, which families and lobby groups say is too slow. But the Ofcom boss says she's clear on what needs to be done.
We are demanding proper age checks, and then that the social media feeds, those algorithms, are radically changed so that suicide and self-harm material, pornography are not available to under 18s.
John Swinney officially became Scotland's 7th First Minister on Wednesday. He was sworn in at the Court of Session at Holyrood, pledging to be a First Minister that would do the best he could for everyone in Scotland. He was also busy announcing a reshuffle, which really only had one significant move, and that was the appointment of Kate Forbes, who had stepped away from a leadership bid as Deputy First Minister. She'll also take responsibility for the economics portfolio and the Gaelic language. The new First Minister also spoke about his family and thanked his wife, who battles with MS.
It is an extraordinary privilege to hold this office, and I thank Parliament warmly. To the people of Scotland, I would say simply this: I offer myself to be the First Minister for everyone in Scotland. I will give everything I have to build the best future for our country.
Still to come on today's Smart 7, Real Madrid stunned Bayern Munich and tributes to an indie rock icon. Right after this.
Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. At Mint Mobile, we like to do the opposite of what Big Wireless does. They charge you a lot, we charge you a little. So naturally, when they announced they'd be raising their prices due to inflation, we decided to deflate our prices due to not hating you. That's right. We're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 up front for 3 months plus taxes and fees. Promo rate for new customers for limited time. Unlimited more than 40 gigabytes per month. Slows full terms at mintmobile.com.
Welcome back. Wednesday night saw the teams for the Champions League final decided. The big game takes place in Wembley on June 1st, and German side Dortmund had already secured their place by knocking out French champions PSG. The second semi-final saw European royalty. Real Madrid host Thomas Tuchel's Bayern Munich, with the tie deadlocked at 2-2 after the first leg. Bayern were 1-0 up early in the second half at the Bernabeu, and it looked like they were set to win when Madrid came back with an 88th minute goal to level the game and a 92nd minute winner. It was a classic Madrid performance, and manager Carlo Ancelotti was delighted with his team, who've already won La Liga this season.
We are really grateful to them because they work really hard. They, with a fantastic atmosphere, they are really humble, really generous. So I think it's the best squad that I have ever had in my career.
Netflix's giant hit Baby Reindeer tells a truly traumatic tale of life as a comedian, with stalking, sexual assault and plenty of drama. It's based on a play and the real life of author and star Richard Gadd as he struggled to make his way in the sometimes brutal world of comedy. He and co-star Jessica Gunning have been in New York for a preview screening of the show for US audiences, and Jessica says playing the iconic stalker was a role she just had to have.
I tried to go and see Baby Reindeer the play, but it was sold out. So I actually bought the play text, which is a little bit martyr of me. Read that every day. And then so when the email came through that said Baby Reindeer audition, I was like, oh my gosh.
Wednesday brought sad news for music fans as legendary icon of indie rock Steve Albini died. He was 61 years old and just about to release a new album with his own band, Shellac, when he suffered a heart attack at his Electrical Audio studios. He famously preferred to be called an engineer rather than a producer, but his magic helped to make classic albums like Nirvana's In Utero, the Pixies' Surfer Rosa and PJ Harvey's Rid of Me. He was also a world-class poker player, winning a World Series of Poker in 2022 and 2018. A lifelong fan of analogue recording, he had a real passion for the importance of authentic sound. Rest in peace, Steve.
I feel like my day-to-day job is being a vector of history. Like I'm making recordings which are going to sit on a shelf and then at some distant time are going to be discovered again. The making a permanent record, I take that aspect of it very seriously.
You've been listening to the Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day. Give us 7 minutes and we'll give you the world.
If there's one thing that my family and friends know me for, it's being an amazing gift giver. I owe it all to Celebrations Passport from 1-800-Flowers.com, my one-stop shopping site that has amazing gifts for every occasion. With Celebrations Passport, I get free shipping on thousands of amazing gifts. And the more gifts I give, the more perks and rewards I earn. To learn more and take your gift giving to the next level, visit 1-800-Flowers.com/ACAST. That's 1-800-Flowers.com/ACAST.